Emily is a graduate of High Point and Central High School, a community volunteer and baseball mom. Emily is a huge supporter of baseball between her own boys and now a host family mom to our Rockers. Also, happy birthday, Emily. Catching the first pitch is the Rockers' Jonathan. Tonight's lineup card exchange is presented by the UPS Store, the official printing partner for the High Point Rockers. With 22 locations in the Triad, the UPS Store is your one-stop shop for all of your printing needs. The UPS Store, we're more than just shipping. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 High Point Rockers. Joining our Rockers tonight are HK and his friends, as well as the players of the Summerfield Recreation Association. Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America and those who protect her, as our national anthem performed by Chelsea Council.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's light gleam, whose buff lights and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we fought, were so gallantly seen. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, it had been a cloudy day all day today at Truist Point, but here just moments before first pitch, the sun's peeked out here at Truist Point. Surely that has to be a good sign for something as we get set for Game 2 of this weekend series between the High Point Rockers and the Charleston Dirty Birds. Good evening, everyone. Kendrick Fruits here with you from Truist Point as the Rockers, who come into today with a 6-2 mark, still chasing Gastonia as we reach the second Saturday of the 2022 season. Neil Uscali taking his warm-up tosses for the Rockers. He comes into today with a 1-0 record, ERA of 1.80, gave up 1 run in 5 innings in his first start of the year. 2 hits allowed, 2 walks allowed, and a pair of strikeouts. The lineup for Uscali today: Seymour, Kelly, Perez, Longy, Williams, Justice, Beltre, Gonzalez, and Burcham is the lineup that he'll be facing from the Charleston Dirty Birds, who are wearing their Charleston Charlies throwback uniforms this evening. The Charlies, of course, the team that inhabited Charleston, South Carolina beginning in the early 70s. A lot of players from the 1979 Pittsburgh Pirates World Championship team passed through Charleston. As Neil Uscali finishes his warm-up tosses. And here comes Anthony Seymour, who was 1 for 4 yesterday, and he'll be the first contestant for Uscali today. Uscali, not necessarily a strikeout guy. We saw that last night from Brady Lale. Uscali's going to be a lot more pitch to contact. Nonetheless, extremely effective, as we saw last Sunday in his first start of the year. The righty Uscali kicks and fires. First pitch to Seymour is a fastball outside, ball 1, and we're underway right at 6:35 with a temperature of 64 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. Seymour hits this one on the ground foul, first base side. Today's first pitch and weather brought to you by Grandover Resorts in Greensboro. Live, work, enjoy. Wind blowing in a little bit right now. That's something we hardly ever see here. As that one misses outside. And the count goes to 2-1. The throw got away from Galino. It actually hit off of Seymour's bat. Seymour swings, lines this one center field. Field dives, can't make the play, and the ball's past him. Seymour's got a chance to round the bases. He's rounding second now. Here comes the throw in. Thanks to the hustle of Jay Gonzalez. He's going to hold Anthony Seymour to a triple. It was a good effort from Johnny Field, but the ball just sneaks under his glove. And it is a leadoff triple for Anthony Seymour. That'll bring up Scott Kelly, who was 0 for 4 yesterday. And already, Charleston wanting to get on the board first. They know how good High Point has been when scoring first and building an early lead. The Rockers 4-1 this year when scoring first. Kelly hits this one on the ground to short. Ladendorf's going to go to first with it, and that will score Seymour on a 6-3 ground out, and Charleston takes a 1-0 lead. That'll bring up Juan Perez. Perez hit a triple yesterday as part of a 2 for 4 effort. High Point actually 5-1 when scoring first. When opponents score first, they are 1-1. First pitch to Perez, off speed low, and the count 1-0. Infield mostly in shade, at least the infield grass portion, as Perez swings and misses, 1-1. When you go towards the dirt portion and then into the outfield, that's where you find the sun. A ball and a strike to Perez. Uscali kicks and fires, and Perez grounds it weakly foul, third base side, and the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's an extremely rare thing to see an opponent score in the first inning against High Point this year. This is just the second run in 9 games that the opposing teams have scored in the first inning. That one just down out of the zone. And the count 2-2. Owen Ballard, the fourth behind the dish tonight. Nick Sempert, the first base umpire. And Steve Bartelstein, who was the home plate umpire yesterday, man second and third. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, popped up over our heads, foul and out of play. And the count remains 2-2. Uscali goes with the curveball, and that drops in for a strike. Strike 3, down goes Perez, and Uscali has his first strikeout of the evening. Rockers, as they have done for the first 8 games, have gone with the white pants, white jerseys, block letters, blue numbers beneath the letters, blue numbers on the back, and blue hats. Here's Nick Longy, the first baseman. Did not play in yesterday's game. And he swings first pitch, a high fly ball, right field. Jay Gonzalez going back at the wall, and it is gone. A solo home run for Nick Longy. His third already of the year. And it is now 2-0 Charleston in the first inning. For Longy, we just mentioned home run number 3. It is RBI number 8. And that'll bring up Miles Williams, who was 0 for 3 yesterday. Charleston wearing their throwback Charlie's uniforms today. And the best way to describe them, we'll tell you, the pants are gray. It's the road grays. That's the easy part. I pitch down low, and the count 1-0. It reminds me of the phrase that my broadcast partner last year, Javik Blake, used, which was tequila sunrise. That pitch just up and in, and the count is 2-0. It is a gold-based jersey, says Charleston in black across the chest. Then you have alternating stripes of black, blue, gold, blue, black, and then you have gold and blue again. So that pitch a strike and the count 2-1. On the back, it is a light blue circle with a black number. You've really got to see them to understand what it looks like, but they're neat looking. That pitch fouled off and the count 2-2. There are also blue hats with a black bill. Here comes a 2-2 to Williams. That's down in the dirt. The count goes full. I mentioned that the opposing team had only scored once in the first inning before tonight. That was Saturday's game against Kentucky. As Williams fouls that one off. That was a Chris Shaw base hit that scored Demetrius Moorer in Game 3 of the season. Conversely, coming into today, the Rockers had scored 11 runs in the first inning alone. Here comes a 3-2. There's strike three looking. Miles Williams thought it was a walk at first. He threw the bat back, but instead it's strike three looking, and Neil Uscali's out of the first inning. 2-run score, though, for Charleston, and they take a 2-0 lead to the bottom of the first on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Hey fans, State Farm Equipment wants to help us welcome the best mascot in the world, Hike the Rocking Horse. Let's cheer him on as he makes his way around the field. For all your farm equipment needs, be sure to visit State Farm Equipment in Lexington, North Carolina. Let's hear it for Hike. GTCC, Guilford Technical Community College, offers a great education while offering quality, affordability, and support. Choose GTCC. Choose success. Learn more at www.gtcc.edu today.
Bottom of the first inning, Jose Mesa Jr. making his first start of the year, second appearance. And the lineup he'll be facing: Field, Russell Downs, Lattimore, Wheel, Aklinski, Ladendorf, Galeno, and Gonzalez. Jose Mesa, 24th round draft pick of the New York Yankees back in 2014. It's 5 rounds ahead of Alex Bregman, who was selected by the Boston Red Sox that year in round number 29. And Mesa will begin his night against Johnny Field. The Charleston righty fastball sails inside on Johnny. He's got to scoot back in the count 1-0. Field 1 for 3 yesterday, hitting 179 on the year. And here comes the 1-0. Again, fastball up. This one in and up on Field, and the count now 2-0. Michael Russell in the on-deck circle. And here comes the 2-0, an easy take for Field, or he was taking all the way, or rather. It's in there for a strike, and the count 2-1. Johnny Field slowly starting to get into hitting form. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a high fly ball deep into left field. Going back is Perez at the wall, and he'll make the catch. That is the second time this series that Juan Perez has made a catch at the warning track for an out. He did that with Quincy Lattimore yesterday. Quincy thought he had a grand slam, but Juan Perez making the play out there in left field. First pitch, a strike to Michael Russell, and the count 0-1. It is 336 feet down the left field line, and Jose Mesa needed 334.5 to keep that ball in as that pitch misses 1-1 to Russell. Michael Russell hitting at .226, 1 run batted in and 2 stolen bases. The 2 steals tie a team high in the early part of the season. He swings at this one, a high fly ball into center field. Slipping as the center fielder Seymour recovers, and he makes a catch. Anthony Seymour slipped as he began to run in on that ball and was able to recover enough to dive and make what ends up being a highlight reel catch. You got to give credit where credit is due, and right now the credit is due to Anthony Seymour. Here's Jerry Downs. Downs hitting at .182, 2 home runs, 5 batted in. And Mesa delivers, first pitch low in the count 1-0. Obviously, with a guy like Jose Mesa who doesn't start a whole lot of ball games, pitch count is going to be a huge part of determining how deep he goes into today's game as Downs fouls it off. That is just pitch number 9. I'm going to guess probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 is what we would look at. Here's the 1-1 to Downs. That's up about shoulder high in the count 2-1. Mesa kicks and fires, 2-1, Downs swings and fouls it into the Rockers' dugout. Would have gone down the tunnel that leads back to the team clubhouse. It wasn't for, I think that might have been Justin Nicolino making the play. It was Justin Nicolino. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the first. Charleston leading 2-0. Mesa's 2-2. Downs fouls it back to the screen again, and the count holds. Well, in Billy Horn's return yesterday, Rockers jumped out to a early 3-0 lead, would then be 3-1, and they would extend it to 6-1. But Charleston, the team that gets on the board first here tonight. Another 2-2 to Downs, swings and lines this one into right field. It's going to fall in front of Miles Williams, and that is a 2-out base hit for Jerry Downs. We'll go ahead and set the defense here for you. It's Perez in left, Seymour in center, Williams in right. The infield tonight, Burcham, Justice Kelly, Longy, and Gonzalez. Here comes Quincy Lattimore, the designated hitter, hitting at .292. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in, one of which, yesterday in the first inning, his 100th RBI as a Rocker. And he swings, hits this one on the ground towards third. Burcham, the new third baseman, a nice sliding play, goes to second with it, and that will retire Jerry Downs, and that will retire the Rockers. So the newcomer for Charleston showing the leather early. Rockers don't score in the first. We head to the second, and it's a 2-0 score in favor of Charleston on the Rockers Baseball Network.
In an effort to help make High Point a certified autism destination, the Rockers are proud to partner with Hughes Porter to provide sensory bags at all Rockers home games. For those with sensory sensitivities, simply visit our guest services booth behind section 107. Thank you to Hughes Porter for their support of the Rockers and all they do for the community.
Top of inning number 2. It's 2-0 Charleston. Neil Uscali looking to bounce back from allowing those 2 runs in the first inning. He'll face 6, 7, and 8. That's Justice, Beltre, and Gonzalez. Connor Justice hitting .308, the home run yesterday. 8 runs batted in, 3 of which came yesterday. It's part of a 2-for-4 day. Neil Uscali in the first inning, using 19 pitches. Justice standing at the back of the right-handed box. And Uscali kicks and fires. First pitch of inning number 2, curveball low, and the count 1-0. I realized a little bit ago we did not set the Rockers defense for you, so we'll go ahead and do that here in just a moment. Uscali, a big, deep breath on the mound, shakes off Galino once, now gets the sign, and spikes that one in the left-handed box, and the count 2-0. Good Saturday night crowd here at Truist Point. We had a good one last night. I'll give you an exact number here in just a moment. That one swung on, hit up the middle, knocked down by Uscali, and he's going to throw late to first. Now he throws it into the outfield. Heading over to second base now is Justice. He's motoring to third, and he'll slide into third base. That was a ball that Uscali probably should have just eaten. It should be a base hit and a throwing error on Uscali. The runner Justice beat the throw to first. So it'll be a single and a 2-base error on Uscali. It was hit right back up the middle off of Uscali's person. That'll bring up Angel Beltre. And Uscali delivers. First pitch curveball in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. Rockers came into today with the number 1 defense in the Atlantic League. Their fielding percentage of .986, better than the second-place Gastonia squad by almost 10 percentage points, as that pitch fouled off by Beltre, the count 0-2. Gastonia, the second highest mark at .977. But it's the defense that hurts the Rockers here in the bottom of the second inning. Uscali set. Here comes the 0-2 to Beltre. That's tapped weakly down the first base side. Coming in was Justice, but the ball goes foul, and the count 0-2 still. Beltre 0 for 4 yesterday. Slid back 2 spots in the lineup, hitting the number 5 spot yesterday as the designated hitter, batting in the 7 spot here today. Uscali's pitch, curveball in the dirt, good block by Galino. Now he can't find it. It's going to be right behind the right-handed box and stays too close to Galino for any advancement by Justice. The count 1-2. Rockers sitting in sole position of second place right now, 1 game behind Gastonia, 1 game ahead of Charleston. Like I said before last night's game, one of these teams coming out of here in second place. There won't be a tie situation as that pitch fouled off, the count 1-2. Yes, it is early, but at the end of this series, you've got to remember with the 266 game halves, in this series, we're 15% of the way through the first half. Uscali set. Here's the 1-2, looking for the put-away pitch. There's a fastball, popped up, shallow left field, Ladendorf going back. Now he's called off by Aklinski, who makes the catch and rifles it home. And that is the first out of the inning. We'll go ahead and set the Rockers defense for you now as the runner Justice stays at third. It's Aklinski in left. Center field is Johnny Field. Jay Gonzalez in right. Xander Wheel at third. Ladendorf and Russell up the middle, short and second respectively. Jerry Downs at first. And Mike Galino behind the plate. Here's Jovan Gonzalez, 1 for 3. hitting .250 on the year with a couple of runs batted in, .296 the on-base percentage. As an off-speed pitch low, and the count 1-0. "19 pitches in the first inning for Uscali. He's at 12 here in the second. That one hit right back up the middle. The shortstop Ladendorf will scoop it up. The play goes to first, but coming in to score is Connor Justice, and that's the second out of the inning, and Charleston adds to their lead now 3-0. That is the second 6-3 RBI ground out today. And here is Scott Burcham. Scott Burcham making his first offensive appearance as a member of Charleston, was traded by Southern Maryland yesterday. Has already made his presence felt defensively. A nice play in the bottom of the first. First pitch pops it up out of play right field side, and the count 0-1. Burcham 0 for 7 on the year with Southern Maryland. Part of a busy day of transactions for the Blue Crabs. They also traded outfielder Connor Leon to the Lancaster Barnstormers ahead of the Barnstormers' absolute drubbing of York last night. The 0-1 swing and a miss, off speed down, and he got Burcham to chase. Did Uscali, and the count 0-2. Rockers down 3 early. They overcame a 5-run deficit on opening day. Check swing. They're going to go down to first base, and yes, Nick Sempert says that Burcham goes around. That's strike 3 for Uscali, a new season high with number 3. But a run comes in and scores for Charleston. They now lead at 3-0 as we head to the second on the Rockers Baseball Network. Xander Wheel makes his way to the plate after another good day yesterday, 1 for 3 with an RBI. And look at his numbers in the early portion of the year. 346. He's tied for the team lead with 2 home runs, one of them an inside the Parker, and 11 runs batted in, which is tied for second most in the Atlantic League. First pitch to Wheel, a fastball strike, and the count 0-1. He, Courtney Hawkins, and Joe Rosa all trailing Ruby Silva by 1. Remember, last year Ruby Silva got off to a hot start as well. Wheel chasing down and away in the count 0-2. An interesting note that I stumbled across earlier today, and I don't know if it really comes to mean anything when you think about it. It just looked interesting. There's the 0-2, a check swing right down the first base line. It'll go foul. Count stays 0-2. The 2 best and 2 worst run differentials in the Atlantic League are all coming from the South Division. The Rockers at plus 35 are the second best. Gastonia at plus 41 the best. The 2 worst are Lexington at minus 29 and Kentucky at minus 38. Everyone in the north plus Charleston falls somewhere between those groups. As Wheel out in front of this one fouls it down the third base side. Rockers manager and third base coach Jamie Keefe makes the play and hands the ball off to a young fan in the front row. Xander Wheel's 2 home runs coming in the Barnstormers series. Here comes the 0-2. Hits this one on the ground towards third. Easier play for Burcham than his first. This throw onto first base is in time. And that's the first out here in the second inning. That'll bring up Ben Aklinski. If you heard some of the pregame interview today with Aklinski, he's leading the league in batting average at .476. He's leading the league in on-base percentage at actually second in the league in on-base percentage at .633. He is leading the league in slugging percentage at .905, and he's leading the league in hit by pitches with 5 as well. And it comes as no surprise that a Rocker is up at the top of the hit by pitch category. As that pitch fouled off, count 0-1. Last year, Jerry Downs and Stephen Cardulo seemed to practically have a magnet attached to their front shoulders. Here comes the 0-1. Aklinski swings, lines this one into right field. Miles Williams slides to cut it off, and good thing he did. Aklinski would have had second base easily, but instead it'll be a base hit with 1 out in the second. And Ben Aklinski's league-leading batting average climbs even higher. Brings up Tyler Ladendorf, hitting at .176 with 3 runs batted in. But if you look at some of Tyler's numbers, they have been much better recently. First pitch, fastball up, and the count 1-0. After a horrendous 0-for-19 streak, he's now hit safely in 3 consecutive games. He's driven in all 3 of his runs batted in from the Lancaster series, and he's picked up 4 hits. Check swing, doesn't matter. It's a strike, and the count 1-1. If you missed the news on the pregame show today, the Rockers add 2 more to the injured list, now bringing the total up to 6. Which is tough in the first place, but when you consider 2 of the 6 are major leaguers. Ladendorf swings, grounds it between third and short into left field. It's a base hit. As his resurgence here in week number 2 continues, Rockers now have runners on first and second. And that'll bring up Mike Galino. What a year Galino's having. 5 of 10 right now with an RBI. Earlier today, the Rockers add right-handed starter Cooper Cassad and first baseman / designated hitter Logan Morrison to the injured list, joining Giovanni Alfonso, Johnny Barbado, Austin Glorious, and Joe Johnson. Current active list for the Rockers, 23 players. As Galino swings and misses, and the count 0-1. High Point looking to chip into this early 3-0 deficit here in the bottom of the second. They dinked and dunked Dominic DeMasi to death yesterday. That pitch low, and the count 1-1. DeMasi surrenders 10 hits yesterday, 8 of which were singles. Number 9 hitter in the lineup, Jay Gonzalez in the on-deck circle. Mesa comes set. Here comes the 1-1. That's down in the dirt. And the count 2-1. Jose Mesa Jr.'s father, Jose Mesa, of course, a closer for the Cleveland squad specifically in the 90s, saved 321 career games in the major leagues. 4 times he hit the 40-save mark, including leading the league in 1995 with 46 saves. He was an integral part of that Cleveland team in the 90s that made a couple of World Series appearances, losing both of them as Galino fouls that one off 2-2. A loss to the Atlanta Braves and a loss to the then Florida Marlins. Runner at second is Aklinski. Runner at first is Ladendorf. 2-2 coming here to Galeno. That's down and a bit away, and the count goes full. Ben Aklinski, right as Mesa was about to throw, really started dancing off of second base, so much so that it got the attention of second baseman Scott Kelly, who started sprinting over to second. Jose Mesa never really gave him much of a look, though. Here comes the 3-2. Galeno swings and pops it up foul, first base side. It'll fall harmlessly in front of the Rockers' dugout, however, and we'll do it 3-2 yet again. Talked about how quick of a first inning Jose Mesa had. Second inning, not quite to that extent. Although he's hitting the strike zone with regularity, 30 pitches, 21 of which have been strikes. Mesa comes set. And here comes the 3-2 to Galeno. He swings and skies it out towards right. Miles Williams should have an easy enough play. He's backing up on it, now makes the catch. And uncorks one over to third base. It's cut off, but Aklinski does not attempt to advance. I'll bring up Jay Gonzalez now. Gonzalez hitting at .286 with 3 runs batted in. 1 for 4 day yesterday. After a couple of days ago, the Rockers had gone 7 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They are 0 for 1 today in their first crack at it. Rockers have had their outfield really thinned out as Gonzalez swings at this one, hits it into left. Catch made on the first pitch of the at-bat by the left fielder Perez, and 2 base hits for the Rockers don't lead to any runs in the second. We head to the top of the third. Charleston still leads at 3-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the third inning, Rockers trail Charleston 3-0. Neil Uscali back out on the mound for his third inning of work, and joined by a very special and very familiar voice here is my partner last year, Mr. Javik Blake. Welcome back to Truist Point.
Well, thank you, Kendrick. It's nice to see that not much has changed, though it is nice to see Billy Horn, instead of being in the Rockers dugout, decked out, and I guess they went with the Billy Horn special of the camo Charleston Dirty Birds sweatshirt. But it's good to be back. You know, always a fun team to watch and obviously be a part of last year. But Neil Uscali back on the mound too. Nice to see him in a starting role. But it's just such a fun place, and you know, it's an organization that was so good to me last year. You know, it's nice to always come back and get to see some old faces.
Uscali's first pitch of the inning, a bunt off of, I guess, the foot of Anthony Seymour. He is certainly in pain, and I guess they're going to say it hit him and not him fouling it off of his foot. I thought he fouled it, but Anthony Seymour is heading down to first. And
well, the home plate umpire thinks he fouled off his foot because he's sitting there. He's already halfway down to first, but the first base umpire is pointing to go home. You have the home plate umpire pointing to go home. It's good.
Welcome back to the Atlantic
It's good
League.
to see the Atlantic League has not changed much since last October. That's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's changed, Javik. Last night's game, we played 9 innings in 2:18, which was
where was that last year?
it was nowhere to be found. That's for sure. It was the shortest game. It would have been the shortest game last year, and I actually did some math earlier today. I know that's shocking, but they played 12 7-inning games last year, longer than last night's 9-inning game.
Well, I think if you remember back to last year when we were in West Virginia with the team and they were playing against then the West Virginia Power, that was the game I believe the Rockers were getting no hit into the ninth. That was game 1, and then game 2 of the doubleheader went like 3 hours, and it was 7 innings.
So they did send Seymour back to the plate. He fouls this one off a little more conventionally now. They count 0-2.
It's also nice to see the mound's back at 60 feet 6 inches. You're back with the human umpires this year. It gives it a bit more of what I guess it was like early last year.
My pregame interview with Uscali on Sunday before his start, as that pitch down and away, he was talking about the fact that it benefits not just himself, but other guys like Cooper Casad as well, who were able to hit at the knees last year. They said, look, you have to throw a strike above the knees, but now you can just be around the knees. This one popped up, foul territory, third base side. Wheel gives it a look. It's out of play. But it allows, not only does it allow catchers who have to work on framing, and it becomes all the more imperative to have a good guy behind the plate, but it allows pitchers to kind of work off the zone a little bit. And if you've got good command, you'll get some of those calls later in the game. We
saw that last year with Craig Stem at the start of the year. He was continuously having to throw high in the zone, and his pitches only play down at the knees.
The 1-2 to Seymour, swing and a miss, chased it down. Galeno picks it up and throws down to first in time. That's out number 1 here in the third inning, and that's another semi-different, semi-similarity from last year to this year is Mike Galeno now in the starting role for High Point.
That's a good thing for Mike Galeno. Obviously, last year you had Logan Moore, Stuart Levy. Levy, I believe, is on to Gastonia. Galeno's a guy who can play, and that was something that you don't see many guys who have obviously recovered from having multiple vertebrae broken in their neck and almost on the verge of paralysis like Mike Galeno to come back and play baseball as well as he did, but he's carved out a great career for himself.
The crazy thing about it is Scott Kelly takes strike 1. We all knew coming into the season that Galeno and his catching mate Chris Proctor were both glove-first guys, billed as anyways. Chris Proctor came here with a .996 fielding percentage in the minor leagues. As Kelly swings, lines this one into left field. Aklinski makes the catch for out number 2. But the bats have been playing very well. Galeno 5 of 10 to start the year, and Proctor hitting .357. So any offense you can get's a bonus, and that's a lot right now.
Well, the young guys from last year, you think about sort of the trio of young guys, and it was the duo on offense. It was obviously the trio of not only Mike Galeno behind the plate, but then you had Jared DeSarcina, and on the mound you had Joey Hennessy. But
Joe Johnson as well. Don't forget Joe Johnson.
Yeah, there was Joe Johnson who was out there pumping 96, 97. But the big thing is guys like Galeno and DeSarcina really took hold to this league, and they ended up in great spots.
That one swung on, lined into left field, a base hit that Aklinski's not going to be able to get to. So it's a 2-out single from Juan Perez, and it brings up Nick Longy. Joe Johnson on the injured list right now. We're certainly awaiting his return, and J.R. DeSarcina was traded to Lincoln a few weeks ago. Speaking of Lincoln, one of DeSarcina's teammates, Randy Norris, was actually here taking batting practice today as the American Association season hasn't quite started yet, or it's about to start, I think it is.
Yeah, it starts up in mid-May, but those are two guys who are going to get way more reps in the American Association than they would see here in High Point.
First pitch to Longy, down and in. Longy hit a home run in the first inning. That was his third of the year.
And that's not a knock on their talent or anything, but you're not beating out guys like Johnny Field and Quincy Lattimore for spots in the Atlantic League. You go to the American Association, you can get ABs.
Longy swings, lines this one into center field. Speaking of field, not going to be able to make the play. Grabs it on a hop, throws it in, and almost called them the Charlies. I guess they're the Charlies tonight. Runners at the corners now with 2 outs, and that'll bring up former Rocker for a couple of weeks, Miles Williams, who was a part of 3 Atlantic League teams last year.
Was it only 3? I feel like it was 7. I feel like he played for every single one, almost every single one last year.
All of them except for here in High Point, and he checked that one off the list the first week of the regular season here.
I need someone who was a really good baseball player.
Yeah.
Well, you could see it. The swing power is there, and especially the stance.
And I didn't know this as he swings and misses strike one until I got to spend some time with him in spring training. Probably one of the nicest guys in the Atlantic League, too.
You know he's also a model?
No, but
Miles
I'm not
Williams
surprised.
is a model in his off time, which I found out last year, and that was one of the wildest things you've ever heard of. Most guys in the Atlantic League.
Some of them just think they are here in the Atlantic League, because that one misses count 1-1.
Well, we're not here to burst egos.
Runners at the corners here, top of the third for Uscali with 2 outs. Part of a Rockers pitching staff that has been phenomenal this year as he splits the shoulder blades of Williams, and that'll load the bases. Rockers came into the day with a pitching staff featuring an ERA of 1.60. Second highest starting pitching staff ERA coming into today was 2.19.
I think we've seen this last year, and we saw it again in 2019, of how good this team is pitching-wise. And when you have Frank Viola as your pitching coach in a league where it's much like college, where you recruit guys to come play for you, the draw of having someone like Frank Viola is always going to bring pitchers and always going to bring guys who have AA, AAA, Major League quality stuff. And when you put that in order, we saw it last year with the bullpen. What was it, 19 innings to start the year before they allowed the run?
Yeah.
So you get guys like that, and it brings so much talent to High Point, and then you see it on the mound, and, well, the numbers speak for itself.
And it also brings in some surprises as well as Uscali misses low to Justice 1-0. The Rockers signed Gastonia pitcher from last year, Austin Glorious, and you remember Glorious statistically did not have a good year last year, and I asked Frank about it, and he says, look, Glorious gets strike one, and he's got some sneaky stuff, and he thinks that without the automated ball strike system, his stuff will play a lot better this year as that pitch drops in, count 1-1.
And you get him out of Caramont Health Park, which we saw last year with that 304-foot fence down to left that plays like it's about 285. You can pop some balls out that normally would be a fly out. It's like Michael Russell's home run last year that went through a car windshield beyond the left center field wall. You can get some balls out that would normally be flyouts.
Is anybody surprised that Gastonia has already given up 10-plus home runs this year?
I think I'm just surprised that Lancaster put up 23 in a game at their place, because if we remember last year, that was a place where you could score some runs, but 23 in a game's a bit much.
And they're doing it by hitting the ball and not walking. That's the other big thing. We saw walks aplenty at Clipper Magazine.
I'm sure our good friend Dave Collins is very happy about that.
The 1-2 coming here to Justice. Uscali down low, couldn't get Justice to chase, and the count 2-2. High Point coming into today with a 5-game winning streak. They swept the Barnstormers, outscoring them 32-7 the midweek series. Brady Lale was fantastic yesterday in his second start for High Point. 9 strikeouts. As this one hit on the ground toward short, Ladendorf scoops it up and flips underhand to Russell for the final out of the inning. Javik, you good to hang for a bit?
Let's do it.
All right, well, more with Javik Blake when we come back. Rockers coming up to bat when we come back. They're down 3-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Hi, fans. Please welcome the team and family of Lillian and Keller Williams. Welcome the amazing staff of Hopewell Elementary School. Welcome the families of the Summerfield Recreation Association. Welcome Cosmos Granite and Marble. Welcome the Pony League Cardinals. Thanks for choosing to come to the Truist Point for tonight's game.
Bottom of the third inning, Jose Mesa Jr. back out on the mound. Again, a guy who has not made a whole lot of starts in his career. Means you want to kind of watch his pitch count early, and he's currently sitting at 32 pitches through 2 innings. Mesa will be facing Field, Russell, and Downs. The top three in the Rockers lineup. Three names that, Javik, you're very familiar with from last year's team, and they've all gotten off to really slow starts this year. Michael Russell's .226 is the highest batting average of the three, but recently you start to see little bits of improvements. It just took him a couple of games.
Well, I think, you look around the Atlantic League, the first week it was like that. No one was hitting, and now everyone's kind of warmed up to it, so it just takes a little bit.
First pitch to Johnny Field, down and away, and the count 1-0. Well, it took Johnny Field all of, let me see, I think I've starred the play, 1 or 2 games for him to already make the play of the year in center field.
Well, we know that's going to happen. If Johnny Field doesn't make 2 diving catches a game, it's kind of shocking.
The 1-0 from Mesa, fastball, popped up over our heads, and the count 1-1.
The first play that he was going to make today that ended up being the triple, it went a ball to center field. I mean, think to yourself, all right, Johnny Field's got it. Even though he's diving, and it's a spectacular 5-star StatCast play. You're like, yeah, he probably has it. And then he missed it, and you're like, what is this? That's basically how you feel every time a ball gets near Johnny Field, but he's that good defensively.
Here comes the 1-1. That's inside. Scoots him back off the plate, count 2-1.
Now, I will say, I don't know if it can be considered a crime by U.S. law, but it's a crime that no one signed Jerry Downs this offseason, unless you're a Rockers fan. But Jerry Downs not being an affiliated ball after his season last year in defense that was probably one of the more shocking things to see throughout the offseason.
Rockers general manager Christian Heimel plays the offseason moves very close to his vest, and he won't tell people about them until they happen. And I remember trying to just pry information in the offseason, are we re-signing this guy? Are we re-signing this guy? And I said, what about at first base? And he goes, maybe. And so that was all I knew about whether or not Jerry Downs would be back, as Field has worked the count full. And one of the things that doesn't get appreciated enough about his game, and I've said this on air at least twice this year, is the fact that he ended up being named red, white, and blue all defensive at first base last year, too. We talk about his bat, but the glove plays. This one hit on the ground towards third. Another diving play by Bertram. This time a throw to first is wide of the bag, but staying on the bag is Longy, and a good play on both ends there for out number 1.
That's the Atlantic League we know and love right there. It's a high-class play right there. It is so hard to go back, bare hand pivot, and go back towards first, but we saw a couple plays like that from Michael Russell last year up the third baseline, and kind of saw the same there.
Bertram, just acquired from Charleston yesterday in the trade with Southern Maryland, was 0 for 7 to start the year, but you see why Charleston wanted him with 2 really good defensive plays here so far. First pitch to Michael Russell. He swings and pokes this one out to right. Miles Williams there. I'll make the catch for a little more easy second out of the inning. Well, you just mentioned just the Atlantic League as a whole a few moments ago. From, I don't want to say the outside necessarily, but just kind of watching more as a fan now, what have you seen as far as rosters, as far as who you think looks the strongest? And the surprise to me is the fact that Lexington has gotten off to such a terrible start this year.
I haven't really looked so much as who's on what roster as opposed to just, guys I know from last year and where they end up going.
Downs swings, lines this one into right center field. That'll get down for extra bases. Downs on his way to second. Will he think about 3? He's slowed down, but now he's sped up again. The throw is going to be well late, and Jerry Downs a triple. He's showing off the speed. He had a stolen base a couple of days ago, and he adds a triple to the stat sheet today.
Now we've really seen it all. Jerry Downs has a triple? What is this? He's also such a smart baseball player, though. He's a high IQ guy. There's a reason why he's someone, and we talked about this last year with him, who kind of is looking at professional scouting as a route after professional baseball. His baseball IQ's off the charts, on the field and off the field. That's a play where he stumbles around second, but he's like, I still got it. There's still enough time, and he gets in pretty easily.
Makes me feel like maybe we've been ignoring his speed a little bit, too.
He had a couple of stolen bases last year, if I remember correctly.
Career high of 7.
It's not bad.
No. Here's Quincy Lattimore, pitch down low in the count 1-0.
But back to your question about the Atlantic League as a whole and who is the strongest roster, Jamie Keefe and his staff always do a great job bringing in major league talent and big guys, and when you can platoon Jerry Downs and Logan Morrison at first.
This one hit on the ground towards third. Bertram picks it up, throws to first in time, and that will do it in the third inning. You want to save that for the next half inning?
Well, I think we can wrap it up pretty simply. Anytime you got Logan Morrison and Jerry Downs together, that always spells a pretty good lineup.
Well, the triple from Jerry Downs doesn't lead to a run. Rockers trail by a score of 3-0 as we head to the fourth on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Join us in singing happy birthday to H.K. Sloop and Knox Grant.
All right, folks, we're here on the field. I've got HK who's turning 8 today. I've got Knox who's turning 6. I need you guys to do me a big favor. Help Mike and I sing them happy birthday on the count of 3, all right? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Knox and HK. Give them a big round of applause, guys. Thank you so much for birthday with us.
Also, happy 7th birthday to Sam. Happy 5th birthday to Joe. And happy birthday to our very own Christian.
Top of the fourth inning, Neil Uscali back out again. Put up a 0 in the third, and the Rockers looking to hold it there. He'll face the bottom three of the lineup. It's Beltre, Gonzalez, and Burcham. I'm here joined once again by Javik Blake. And Javik, tell us a little bit about your season plans. I know you're heading up north this year. Sorry, I caught you with the water bottle in hand.
You caught me mid-fry and mid-water.
I'm training to be a waiter if this doesn't work out for me. First pitch to Beltre. Fastball popped up in the infield. Ladendorf a couple of steps now onto the outfield turf. Makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out.
So, yeah, this summer I'm the voice and director of media relations for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders in the Northwoods League, which is a summer collegiate team that plays up in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, which is just about an hour west of Milwaukee.
Are you in the same league as the Madison team?
Yes, actually the Madison Mallards are in our division.
So, fun story about that, as that pitch misses and the count 1-0. I have an aunt and uncle and a couple cousins that live in Madison. And
well, if they want to become Fond du Lac Dock Spiders fans, the door is always open.
Well, my oldest cousin actually just got a job with Madison Mallards as a retail clerk. So I don't think he will be changing his affiliation.
It's all right. It's all right. But, yeah, it's a summer collegiate league, so it's the step below the Cape League. The Cape League is sort of the heralded place where your top guys go the year before they're draft eligible, so the summer after your sophomore year.
That one swung on, lined into center field. Johnny Field's going to play it on a hop, and it's a one-out single for Yovan Gonzalez, and that'll bring up Scott Burcham.
And the Northwoods League is all of those guys the year beforehand. So you got guys from Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Stanford, Oregon, your Power 5 schools that are really, really good at baseball. They all send their guys to the Northwoods League when they're just fresh out of their freshman year. So you get to see a lot of good talent, and obviously I'm excited for, the full season. 72 games in 78 days is always something that's a lot of fun. It works a little better with the school schedule.
Your team's pretty stacked as well. I've been watching the lineup constructions. That pitch low in the count 1-0.
Yeah, I said this when I walked in here and you asked me about it. It's a team that's going to have a lot of fun. You got a bunch of guys from SEC schools. Kemp Alderman's one who is just a very large human being.
That one, a strike at the knees, count 1-1.
Basically, you put the physique of Jerry Downs and put him into like a 19-year-old's body, and that's Kemp Alderman. Hit a ball 460 this year off of SEC pitching with a metal bat. You give him a wood bat that's about 440.
Whew.
So BP is going to be pretty fun. Another guy, too, Grant Hussey, who's a first baseman at West Virginia, who, just like Kemp and like Jerry Downs, is a very good defensive first baseman and hits bombs. So it's a fun team, and it'll be fun to see how they play out.
Swing and a miss on the curveball there. A nasty-looking pitch from Uscali. And this has been a fun thing, just going back to Uscali for a moment. Last year, he was never really pitching at 100%. He told me he was trying to work through some physical things. It's good to see him actually 100% and healthy and finding success now. That one fouled off, and the count stays 1-2. Now with your summer league squad, you said it works out well with your school schedule, but you're still with Elon Baseball right now as well, correct?
I am. So the way it works out, and it's quite nice, as great as it was to be with the Rockers, it was a little tough to go 6 weeks into the school year of being in school for 6 hours a day and then jetting to the ballpark and road trips and stuff. But yeah, so I still do Elon Phoenix Baseball. That fills up all the weekends of the spring.
That one fouled off at the plate. The count stays 1-2. A good battle here between Bertram and Uscali.
Which is really fun because you know this because you've been around me so much, but I am such a fan of just not the weird sections of baseball. So whether it's partner league baseball here in the Atlantic League or even the Pioneer League, or you know my found love for the Pecos League. But that college baseball, it's just really good, fun baseball.
Fastball misses outside, count 2-2.
And it's stuff not your average fan who just watches Major League Baseball would go to, but minor league baseball, partner league ball, college baseball. There's so much good, fun baseball around, and it's happening every single day, everywhere.
Well, not just that, as this one hit on the ground. Diving stop by Ladendorf, goes to second in time. Tyler Ladendorf, full extension, and they get the lead runner at second. That's what we were missing last year. Gio was fantastic at shortstop, but Tyler Ladendorf makes a play there. Remember, last year he was signed by the Cubs, one game into spring training, so we didn't get to see that last year.
And that also is why having the turf helps infielders so much. He was able to slide, and didn't have to slide on dirt. He could slide, plant, pivot, and throw all in one motion. One heck of a play.
Just got a text from Gio. He said, ouch. Gio, I'm sorry. You made some fantastic plays last year.
You're going to really disrespect the team barber like that?
No, that was not
unbelievable.
That wasn't a knock of what Gio didn't do. It's a comment of what Tyler does do.
I think they are, between him and Gio, the Rockers have probably the two best defensive shortstops. And Michael Russell, because he can play shortstop, too, in the entire Atlantic League.
100% agreed. Is that pitch down and in? Certainly excited to have Gio back. He's hoping he'll be back in a week or two. That one hit on the ground just past Jerry Downs into right field. Heading over to third will be Bertram. And it's a 2-out single for Seymour. Here's the difference, though. I have to see Gio tomorrow. You can say whatever you want over here.
Hey, you don't have to face him in B, or you have to. I don't have to face him in BP tomorrow.
That's true. Oh, man. He's a good guy. There's a reason the fans love Gio here in High Point.
Definitely. And talking about college baseball, Gio's a guy who is an alum of probably one of the best Division II programs in the country, in UTampa, who I believe right now is ranked number 2 in the country, right behind Wingate, which is right down the road in North Carolina. So there are a couple guys on this team who definitely know how good college baseball is, and Gio's one of them.
Jerry Downs at first base took his squad to a championship as well, championship game appearances. A stolen base there of second by Seymour. Jerry Downs, a member of the St. Thomas squad.
And NAIA ball is good ball.
Yeah.
Just absolutely. A bunch of dudes who throw gas and hit bombs. There's not much in between.
What else do you want?
Exactly. It is NAIA baseball, and it's a great description. NAIA baseball to college baseball is what the Pecos is to Pro League baseball. It is just a wild, wild, wild west of a lot of different things happening.
I thought you were going to say it's what the Savannah Bananas are to everyone else.
Savannah Bananas, now that's something that's interesting.
That's a whole
We could go deep into that right there.
A ball and no strikes. As Uscali pumps in a fastball to Kelly, count 1-1. I did one summer in college summer league, and there's something about it that's different. It's got like the vacation feel of baseball. You know, it's like, hey, we're on vacation, let's go play ball, but it's really good ball at the same time. As that pitch gets away from Galino, Seymour didn't see the ball breaking away from Galino in time to really charge in on it. Actually, that was Bertram at third base. Count 2-1. I will say, if you've never gone to a college summer league game before, go do it. It's a ton of fun.
It is. It is. You get to see a lot of good baseball. It's like the Atlantic League. You get to see the stars of tomorrow today, and that's a big thing across summer collegiate baseball, across the Atlantic League.
2-1 hit on the ground into right field. That'll score one. Now they're sending Seymour around. Gonzalez's throw home is late. Heading down to second base on the throw is Kelly. It's an RBI base hit and 2-run score. It's now 5-0 in favor of Charleston. You can't win them all. And Jamie Keefe said it in the pregame interview yesterday. I had a chance to have Jamie and Billy both on the pregame interview. And Jamie said, maybe I'll let you take one of three.
It's a hot ticket item in the Atlantic League this weekend. You get to have the protege against, I guess you could call Jamie the Jedi Master.
Yeah, that's fair.
Against the young Padawan in Billy Horn. And such an exciting thing for Billy Horn. He managed in 2018 and since then had been, or managed, I believe it was 2016, with the Normal Corn Belters, their final year in the Frontier League.
Still one of the best names.
Without a doubt, the best name. And the Corn Belters still live on in the Prospect League, which is another collegiate summer league. But to have him and to see him grow here in High Point over the last 2+ years and then have him go off and manage Charleston is really something special because Billy and Jamie are two all-around great guys. You can't say enough good things about them. And for Billy to have his own team is something really cool because you get moments like this.
They played really nicely together in the pregame interview. I thought there'd be a little more poking fun as Juan Perez does not go around ball one. But the one barb that Billy did get in, he said one thing that Jamie didn't teach him was how to argue with umpires, and his strategy is to go out a little more calmly than Jamie does.
It's no fun. Who does that?
Billy, apparently.
Billy was always the calmer in those situations.
Fastball down low from Uscali, and the count now 2-0.
There were a couple of times where he did have to actually go, take the lineup card, go to third, and make sure that he wasn't also getting kicked out.
Fastball just below the knees, count 3-0. Rockers have already had 2 ejections this year, one from Jamie Keefe, one from Michael Russell last night. Disagreed with strike 2 and strike 3. Here comes the 3-0 to Perez. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk. Does High Point have somebody up in the bullpen? They do. It's number 21, one of the new Rockers, Gavin Wayman. And a neat story about Gavin Wayman. Of course, we mentioned this when he first signed earlier in the week. He is the current director of baseball operations at High Point University. That's where you run into the fun stories here in the Atlantic League. You get those, and we've got a guy, Javik Tanner Duncan, who pitched for the ECU club team, didn't make the ECU baseball team, but made the club team. As this one popped right field side, Gonzalez makes the catch, final out of the inning. And Javik, I'll let you enjoy Truist Point as a fan, but thanks for stopping by. You're welcome here anytime, and we obviously wish you just the best of luck this year.
Well, thank you so much. And yeah, the Rockers are such a special place in my heart, and obviously I would not be able to be where I am without the Rockers. It's such a special organization and a special place. So, thank you to everyone in the organization, and best luck the rest of the way. Hopefully the Rockers come back from this 5-0 deficit and make some magic in the late innings.
Hopefully so, but if not, it's still a long season. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Rockers down 5-0 now on the Rockers Baseball Network. bottom of the fourth inning. Rockers trail by a score of 5-0 against Charleston. The Dirty Birds have been getting to Neil Uscali today. Rockers have 4 hits, but nothing to show for it on the run column. And that'll bring up Xander Wheel to lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth. It's Wheel, Aklinski, and Ladendorf. Timeout called right before the first pitch of the inning was thrown. Jose Mesa still out there for Charleston. That pitch down low to Wheel, and the count 1-0. We're underway in the bottom of the fourth. It's good to have Javik here for a little bit. Felt just like old times. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Wheel chasing down the off-speed pitch. Count 1-1. Ben Aklinski waiting in the on-deck circle. We hear sirens going off in the background. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball. There's a strike. And the count 1-2. Wayman was throwing up in the bullpen, as in throwing the baseball in the bullpen. He was not getting sick in the bullpen. Here comes the 1-2 spiked from Mesa in the count 2-2. I do wish to clarify, in case it was misconstrued by anyone, that play by Ladendorf the last half inning. First the 2-2. Wheel swings, fouls it off, and the count stays 2-2. Was absolutely not a knock on Giovanni Alfonso at all. I said it on the air multiple times last year, and I'll say it again. Giovanni Alfonso was the best defensive shortstop in the Atlantic League last year for my money. Here comes a 2-2. Fastball up and in for Wheel. Had to lift the arms to get out of the way of that one, and the count goes full. Baseball gets loose from Gavin Wayman in the Rockers bullpen. Timeout called as the first baseman, Nick Longy, has to go and retrieve it. He's almost in front of the pitcher's mound when he does so. Nobody out. Bottom of the fourth. Rockers are trying to get on the board. Wheel pops it up right field side. Long run for Longy, long run for Williams, and the ball goes out of play, and the count will remain full. Five runs, 8 hits, no errors for Charleston, no runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for High Point. The Dirty Birds wearing their Charlie's uniforms today. Last year, if I remember correctly, their throwback days were Tuesday and Saturday, and today, well, it is Saturday. Popped up again, right field side. Should stay in the playing surface, though. Scott Kelly makes the play in foul territory, and that's out number 1. Wheel retired. Brings up Ben Aklinski, 1 for 1 today. Ben Aklinski leading the Atlantic League in batting average, currently at an even 500. Speaking of the Atlantic League, we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the Atlantic League scoreboard here in just a moment. Aklinski swings first pitch on the ground to Burcham, picks up the in-between hop and the throw on to first in time. That's the second out of the inning. Well, just in case this inning ends very quickly, we will hold off on the scoreboard report until the 5th inning. We will tell you that the Staten Island bid for their first win in franchise history is not going very well tonight. That pitch to Ladendorf inside, ball one. Ladendorf 1 for 1 with a base hit. Ladendorf swings right back up the middle, caught by the pitcher, Mesa. Mesa seemed to surprise himself that he caught the ball, but it's a 1-2-3 inning. Rockers still scoreless as we go to the fifth on the Rockers Baseball Network.
I'm over here with Travis. He's going to do our animal trivia question tonight, presented by the National Farm. All right, Travis, here's your trivia question, okay? How many legs do shrimp have? I'm going to give you three choices. Or 12. All right, he says 10. Do we have the answer up there? The answer is 10. Oh, boy. Congratulations, Buck.
Top of the fifth inning, and the Rockers go to the bullpen. Neil Uscali, 4 innings, 5 runs, 4 earned, 8 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 home run allowed. And they will turn the ball over now to Gavin Wayman. Wayman has made 1 appearance so far. That was back on the 27th against the Barnstormers. Struck out 2. Pitched collegiately at Towson University. He struck out 56 and 77 innings in his final year there to go with a 3.26 ERA. I think the impressive number for me, looking at his professional career so far, has to be that last year with Ogden in the Pioneer League, pitched 21 and 2/3 innings and gave up just 1 home run. I think was the big impressive thing to me. Wasn't the strikeout numbers, but the fact that he was able to keep the ball in the yard. Leading off here in the 5th inning, Williams, Justice, and Beltre, the 3 hitters, 5, 6, and 7. Miles Williams was hit by a pitch in his first inning, or his last at-bat. Struck out looking before that. First pitch up and in from Wayman, and the count 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. Williams swings, high fly ball into deep left center field. Johnny Field can only watch it. And Miles Williams crushes it. It is a 6-0 Charleston lead. That is the first home run allowed by Wayman. For Miles Williams, that is his 2nd home run, 2nd RBI. That'll bring up Connor Justice. Justice 1 for 2 today. And Wayman's first pitch down low, and the count 1-0. That one swung on, hit in the air, right field. Long run for Jay Gonzalez. He goes into foul territory, makes the catch about 2 steps over the line, and that's the first out of the inning. Brings up Ingel Beltre. Beltre 0 for 2. We'll take a look at the Atlantic League scoreboard now. Gastonia on top of the Ferry Hawks, 5-1, top of the 5th inning there. Lexington, a low-scoring affair, leading Long Island 2-1. They're on the top of the 4th. Pitch to Beltray, misses ball 1. The Genomes and the Blue Crabs tied at 2. It's Darrell Thompson Day in Southern Maryland. They're tied at 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. As that pitch down low to Beltray, and the count 3-0. And Lancaster and York, middle of the 4th there. They're tied at 1. Fairly low-scoring games across the Atlantic League tonight. That one down low to Beltray, and the count now 3-1. And Wayman delivers. There's a strike. Beltray is struggling a little bit offensively, hitting at 185. Pops this one up, out of play. Down the left field line. And Wayman ready with the 3-2. The righty delivers, and again fouled off, out of play, left field side. I'm seeing a lot of lengthy at-bats in this series. Most of them by Charleston hitters. Here comes another 3-2. That is a fastball just inside, ball 4. That home run that Gavin Wayman allowed to Miles Williams, the first home run surrendered by a Rockers relief pitcher this year. The first 4 home runs had all been given up by starters. Here's Jovan Gonzalez, the catcher, 1 for 2 with an RBI. First pitch, off speed down low, and the count 1 ball, no strikes. Tomorrow, the series finale, a 4:05 first pitch. The pregame show will begin at 3:30 tomorrow. Fastball, there's a strike, and the count is now 1-1. Jose Mesa, 53 pitches so far, nobody up in the bullpen, as he's been very, very solid for Charleston this evening. Here's the 1-1, fastball inside. And the count now 2-1. The Rockers had only allowed 3 home runs this year. They've now allowed 2 in this game. Fastball strike, and the count 2-2 to Gonzalez. In the bottom of the 5th inning, High Point will have 8, 9, and 1. That's Galeno, Gonzalez, and Field. Runner goes. Here's the pitch. Down and away. Galeno throws from his knees. It is a good throw. And out is the call. Beltray is caught stealing. Out number 2. And I'll tell you what. The Rockers are the only team in the Atlantic League to have over 50% success rate on throwing out base stealers. They have thrown out now 4 out of 5. That one hit on the ground right to Ladendorf at short. Easy play. The throw on to first in time for the final out of the inning, but not before a solo home run from Miles Williams makes it a 6-0 Charleston lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th. We're halfway home on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th inning, Jose Mesa back out. He'll face Galeno, Gonzalez, and Johnny Field. Just some general milling about in the bullpen for Charleston. Nothing doing in the Rockers bullpen right now. Wayman may be coming back out for another inning. Mike Galeno leading things off. Flied out into left field in his first at-bat. Jay Gonzalez flied out to left field in his first at-bat. Now we're ready to go here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And here comes the first pitch. Fastball down at the shoe tops of Galeno. And the count now 1-0. Lights are on here at Truist Point. Ended up being a lot clearer of an evening sky-wise than we thought it was going to be, as this one hit on the ground toward short. Justice throws to first in time. And Galeno is retired 6-3. Still definitely some clouds in the distance, but turned out to be a beautiful evening here at the ballpark. Lights are on. That'll bring up Jay Gonzalez now, 0 for 1. Rockers have struggled to get guys on base today, and that's why Gonzalez shows bunt but pulls back, and the pitch is down low, ball 1. Mesa's retired the last 5 hitters he's faced, going back to the final out of the 3rd inning. Gonzalez takes low in the count 2-0. High Point's 4 hits today, 3 singles and a triple. Downs has 2 of those 4 hits. Here comes the 2-0. Swung on, chopped towards first base. Longy gets a nice hop, and he'll take it himself, and that's quickly 2 outs here in the 5th. And the next hitter is Johnny Field, who is 0 for 2. Johnny Field hitting at 167. Flag still blowing mostly in and a little bit towards right. And here's the first pitch. Slider down and away, and Field chases it. Count 0-1. No walks allowed today by Jose Mesa. Field swings, hits this one off the end of the bat, but it's going to drop into shallow center just over the outstretched glove of Kelly. Johnny Field's got himself a 2-out single here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Michael Russell. Well, heading into today's game, only 2 players had reached base safely in all 5 games so far. Joe Rosa, who has a hit today to extend his to 9, and Michael Russell, who is still looking for a trip on base. First pitch, fastball, that's a strike, and the count 0-1. Russell hitting at 212. He has flied out twice today. There's a fastball inside, count 1-1. Johnny Field, the runner at first. The Rockers, once again, in terms of percentage, one of the more successful teams in terms of stealing bases. They just don't do it a whole lot. They're 4 out of 6. Fastball up and in, and the count 2-1 now to Russell. Jose Mesa has tossed 4 2/3 shutout innings. He delivers the pitch here to Russell down low in the count 3-1. 3 straight out of the zone, 2 inside and 1 low. I think if he loses him here, you may start to see somebody get up for Charleston. Jerry Downs in the on-deck circle, 2 for 2. Here comes the 3-1. That's down and away, ball 4. So that's the first walk issued today by Jose Mesa Jr. Brings up Jerry Downs, who's got a single and a triple. Yovan Gonzalez is going to go out and talk to Mesa. Jerry Downs, a little bit of housekeeping from a couple of late score changes. From Cooper Cassad's start the other day, was originally scored 3 runs, 2 of them earned. It has been changed to 3 runs, 1 earned. Reason I bring that up, yesterday Jerry Downs had a 2-hit day, but today was changed to 1 hit. His other time reaching base was changed to an error. And so Jerry Downs now has picked up a 2-hit day today as he takes down low ball 1. And now a couple of guys starting to stretch in the bullpen for Charleston. Bullpen quiet for High Point, so Wayman will come back in the 6th. Here comes the 1-0. Down swings, hits it right on the ground to second. Kelly scoops it up, throws on to first in time. And once again, the Rockers are stymied and cannot get on the board. We go to the top of the 6th inning now. Charleston leads it 6-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 6th, Gavin Wayman back out for High Point. He'll be facing 9-1-2. That is Burcham, Seymour, and Kelly. Charleston with a 6-0 lead over High Point. Rockers won yesterday 6-3. Charleston looking to battle back here today, which would set up the need for a rubber match tomorrow. Both teams will be tied in second place in the South Division if things hold. The tough part about it, Gastonia is just off to an insane start this year and will move with a Rockers loss and a Gastonia win, which is what is trending right now. We'll move to 2 games in front in the South Division. First pitch, a strike to Scott Burcham, who's 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored. Swing and a miss. Wayman takes something off of that one. Count quickly, 0-2. High Point bullpen still quiet. Wayman is at 19 pitches. Number 20 is off speed, down and away in the count, 1-2. Top of the lineup in Anthony Seymour in the on-deck circle. Seymour has scored twice today. That one swung on, hit on the ground toward short. Ladendorf gobbles it up the throw to first base in time. That's the first out here in the 6th inning. Anthony Seymour, a triple and a single today. He scored twice, has stolen a base, his 4th steal of the year. Wayman's first pitch coming here to Seymour. Just going to miss down in the count 1-0. Still nobody throwing in the bullpen for Charleston. Jose Mesa Jr. maybe coming out for what would be his 6th inning of work. A pitch down low to Seymour in the count 2-0. Wayman gets the sign from Galeno. Here comes the 2-0. Big swing from Seymour. So big, in fact, that he actually had his front hand slipped off of the bat. By the time he finished the follow-through, it was all left hand. Here comes the pitch. Fastball inside. And the count now 3-1 to Seymour. The 3-1 fastball, that's going to miss away, ball 4. And a 1-out walk for Anthony Seymour, who has now reached base in 3 of 4 plate appearances today. That'll bring up Scott Kelly. Scott Kelly today, 1 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. He has got 5 on the year. We'll see. The Rockers were able to get a potential double play ball here and get out of the 6th inning. They gave up 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. Wayman delivers first pitch coming to Kelly. It's a fastball inside. And the count 1-0. He's thrown 26 pitches, only 12 of them for strikes. Here comes the 1-0. That one way up and away in the count 2-0 now to Kelly. Juan Perez in the on-deck circle. He's had an eventful day offensively and defensively. Seymour takes his lead off of first. Already 1 stolen base. Now he extends his lead a little bit more. Wayman holds the set, still holding. Now the 2-0. Fastball up and in again. 3 balls, no strikes. Gavin Wayman, in his first outing, did not allow any walks. This is a strike there. He's 1 pitch away from his 3rd walk. Count 3-1. The snap throw down to first from Galeno was late and in the dirt. The count 3-1 now to Kelly. He's hitting at 143. Pickoff over to first base is late. Seymour back in. The count remains 3-1. Wayman holds the set, 3-1 coming, and it's down and away, ball 4. It is the 3rd walk of the appearance for Gavin Wayman. Back-to-back walks now with 1 out, and that'll bring up Juan Perez. Here's Juan Perez now, who has a hit today. He's 1 for 2, is also walked. Rockers would really love a double play ball now. Here comes the first pitch down low, and again, Wayman struggles to find the strike zone. And Mike Galeno's going to have to go out and have a talk with him. Just a reminder, tomorrow, Family Fun Day, kids run the bases. As the series finale, first pitch 4:05 tomorrow afternoon. Then after a day off Monday, the Long Island Ducks come to town for a 3-game set, and that will be the end of the Rockers' 13-game homestand. But still 4 games to go, so you want to grab your tickets, highpointrockers.com. If you got a group that wants to come out, information for groups as well can be found on the website. Wayman's 1-0, swung on, popped up foul. They count 1-1. And the Rockers will head on the road. But they'll be back home facing Charleston again in about 9 days or so. That pitch misses. The count 2-1. Wayman holds the set. Here's the 2-1. Fastball hit off of the handle of the bat towards the hands of the batter, popped up towards second. Michael Russell makes the play. That's the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Nick Longy, 2 for 3 today with a home run.
First baseman, number 34, Nick Longy.
Runner at second base is Seymour. Runner at first base is Kelly. And Longy takes first pitch. Inside ball 1. Mike Galino seemed surprised he didn't get the call. Wayman up at 35 pitches now, 15 of which have been strikes. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball low and the count 2-0. Now that I see it on the pitch tracker, I'm surprised Galino didn't get the first call as well. Here comes the 2-0. Swung on, hit on the ground towards short. Ladendorf picks it up, and he'll go to first with it. Final out of the inning. So a couple of walks from Gavin Wayman, but he doesn't allow a run in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th now, and it's still a 6-0 Charleston lead on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, Jose Mesa Jr. back out on the mound for Charleston. He's pitched 5 innings, has only allowed 5 hits, walked 1, no strikeouts, but that doesn't matter when you're putting zeros up on the board. 67 pitches for Mesa. He'll face 4, 5, and 6. That's Lattimore, Wheel, and Aklinski for High Point. I joked when the Rockers scored 14 against Lancaster on Wednesday and 13 on Thursday. I said, hey, save a couple of those for the weekend. We'll see if they do have anything left in the bank, down 6 with 4 at-bats to go. First pitch to Quincy Lattimore. Quincy swings. Well, there's one. Rockabye baseball into left. Quincy Lattimore His third home run of the year, his 9th run batted in, and he puts the Rockers on the board. It is now 6-1. Quincy Lattimore, no doubter, into the fading light of this Saturday evening. And that'll bring up Xander Wheel. We'll see if that's enough to get the Rockers going. Xander Wheel 0 for 2 today. Xander hitting at .321. And the first pitch to Wheel, a strike at the knees. That's the first run allowed all season for Jose Mesa. And that pitch down low in the count 1-1. Rockers have somebody up in the bullpen. It is Bryce Hensley, the lefty. Here comes the pitch, down low. Taken by Wheel, and the count 2-1. Rockers now trying to eat into what is a 5-run deficit. We'll see if they can get to Mesa a little bit more here. Wheel, a big swing, fouls it off, and the count 2-2. Well, unlike the other day, we were talking about all the Rockers reaching base. Today, 6 of the 8 have, or 6 of the 9 rather. Most of the damage has been done at the top 4 of the lineup. Field has a hit. Russell has reached base. And Jerry Downs has a couple of hits. Quincy Lattimore just hit the home run. Here comes the 2-2. Xander Wheel swings, pops it up. A towering shot into shallow left center. And coming in to make the catch is Seymour. Thought for a moment he was going to run into his own shortstop, Justice, but Seymour makes the catch. That's out number 1. A note about the walk from Michael Russell in the 5th inning. That has now given him an on-base streak of 9, which ties Joe Rosa for the longest in the Atlantic League. 9 games, and he's reached base 9 times. Here's Ben Aklinski, first pitch, off speed down low in the count 1-0. Well, the Rockers have Hensley in the bullpen. There is action in the Charleston bullpen as well. 2 pitchers standing up, so I'm not sure which one of them is actually coming in, but Aklinski hits this one right back to the mound, and Mesa will toss it over to first base, out number 2. And right as that happened, neither pitcher all of a sudden looks like they're about to throw, as Mesa is now 1 out away from getting out of the 6th inning. Should be his last inning at this point. However, you can wait a little bit before getting your next reliever up at this juncture. There is a right-hander, though, that looks like he may be about to throw for Charleston. The pitch to Ladendorf, swings and cues it in towards the Rockers' dugout. Count 0-1. Ladendorf today is 1 for 2. Mesa gets the sign from Gonzalez, and the righty fires. That's down low, and the count now nothing, or count is 1-1 rather. That pitch was low. Here comes the 1-1. Ladendorf swings, fouls it off of the catcher Gonzalez, and the count now 1-2. When hit off of Gonzalez's face mask, Billy Horn took a couple of steps out of the Charleston dugout just to confirm with his catcher that he was okay. Gonzalez assures him that he is. And now timeout called by the first base umpire. That's Nick Simpert. I think a baseball got loose from Bryce Hensley in the Rockers' pen. Now we're ready to go. Here comes a 1-2 to Ladendorf. High fastball on the count 2-2. Sounds like some fans nearby imploring Ladendorf to be successful here. Umpire shows the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. Ladendorf swings, lines it center field. Seymour makes the catch. And that is the final out of the inning. Rockers get 1 on the solo home run from Quincy Lattimore. It is now a 6-1 ball game as we head to the top of the 7th, the Rockers Baseball Network.
It's time for a little mascot race here on a Saturday night in Truist Point. Our mascot race is presented by Adrian Health, Wake Forest Baptist, the official team doctors of your High Point Rockers. Over there at first base, I've got 11-year-old Amelia representing Wahlberg softball. She's going to raise height, and if she can make it here to me before height does, she's going to get an awesome little prize. Fans, you guys cheer Amelia on for me, please. On your mark, get set, go! Attaboy, Jerry, well done, yes! I love the little interference from a first baseman. Amelia right here to me, come on, you got a great head start. I love it. Make some noise, Amelia is our winner. I know, but hey, that's all Jerry. That's all Jerry. It's not my fault. That's all Jerry. Well done, Amelia. Give us a round of applause for winning our Adrian Health mascot race.
Top of the 7th inning, and the Rockers do, in fact, go to the bullpen. Gavin Wayman done 2 innings, 1 run. It was earned, a solo home run that he allowed to Miles Williams. It was the only hit that he allowed as well. He walked 3. And the Rockers go now to Bryce Hensley. Hensley comes into today. This will be his appearance number 5 in 9 games this year. 1.80 the ERA. Hensley 1 walk, 6 strikeouts in 5 innings of work, 222 the opponent's average. I was talking with Bryce the other day and made the comment that he looked much more comfortable out of the bullpen than he was as a starter last year. And he told me that he really became a starter last year simply out of necessity. He said he always has been a reliever. He was a guy who was comfortable in his role as a relief pitcher, but last year he said the Rockers needed a starter, and so he said, yeah, sure, I'll give it a go, and he was a good team player about it. But then when the Rockers moved him back to the bullpen, was extremely effective at the end of the season, the last, month or so. And so far into the start of this year, he's been every bit as dominant out of the bullpen as you could hope for. So here's Miles Williams to lead off. He hit the solo home run off of Wayman back in the 5th. It is Williams, Justice, and Beltre. Hensley delivers first pitch. Fastball. There's a strike, and they count 0-1. Hensley, as a starting pitcher, not really a strikeout guy, but out of the bullpen, he has found the swing and miss stuff. That one a swing and a miss on the pitch low, and the count 0-2. Now there is a left-hander in the bullpen for Charleston, who is throwing with purpose, so you would think the day is done for Mesa. Trying to see who that left-hander could potentially be. First the 0-2, that's down low, 1-2. Potentially, I would say either Joe Testa or Kit Sheets, most likely. As Hensley deals another fastball low in the count 2-2. Hensley, another guy who could benefit from the absence of the automated ball strike system this year, a guy who finds success getting ground balls, especially at the bottom of the zone. He's missed low on 3 consecutive pitches, though, and the count goes full. It was 0-2, now is 3-2. Connor Justice, who homered yesterday in the on-deck circle. Here's the 3-2, swung on and popped foul. First base side, but Jerry Downs will have an easy play, and that is the first out of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Justice, who is 1 for 3 with a base hit.
Shortstop, number 15, Connor Justice.
The more I look out there in the bullpen, I do think it's, well, I was going to say I think it's Joe Testa, and then the guy out in the bullpen dipped down and tossed one from the side, and Testa doesn't really do that. This one hit into right field. Gonzalez makes the catch. That's out number 2. Let me rephrase. Testa didn't do that last year. I don't know if that may be something he added or whether, in fact, there may be Kit Sheets out there. Here's Angel Beltre. Beltre today 0 for 2. Has also walked and has stolen a base. First pitch from Hensley, down low, and the count 1-0. Hensley delivers the 1-0. Fastball. They're going to ask and see. Nope, Galeno thought about asking, but he didn't. And the count 2-0. He had a quick conversation with home plate umpire Owen Ballard IV. I think that might have just been on strictly location of the pitch. Here comes the 2-0 from Hensley. Swing and a miss. As Beltre chased ball 3, or what would have been ball 3. Here comes the 2-1 now from Hensley. Off speed, strike at the knees. And the count now 2-2. Hensley trying to battle back for the final out of the inning. Here it comes, fastball. That's fouled into the Rockers' dugout, and the count will remain 2-2. Rockers' 5-game winning streak in jeopardy of being snapped tonight. Charleston, a modest 2-game skid. This one hit foul, first base side. The starting pitcher's ERA for the Rockers, which came in today at 1.60, definitely going to head north a little bit, but we'll see. Here's a tough play. Xander Wheel, third base, throws on the run and the scoop from Downs. Xander Wheel fielding the weak high chopper behind the mound and one-hopped it to Downs, who picked it, a slick pick over there. And it is stretch time at Truist Point. The Rockers trail the Dirty Birds by a score of 6-1 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th, and the day is in fact done for Jose Mesa. 6 innings, 1 run. It was earned. It was a solo home run from Quincy Lattimore. 6 hits allowed and 1 walk. Did not strike anyone out. And Charleston will now head to the bullpen. This is Kit Sheets in to relieve Mesa. The numbers on Sheets this year, he's 2-0, has not given up an earned run. 5 innings pitched, 1 walk with 6 strikeouts. And he will come in for his 4th game. The most used pitcher on this Charleston team is now Sheets, tied with Miller. Justin Miller pitched yesterday. For the Rockers, Bryce Hensley has thrown 5 outings this year, 5 of the 9. For the Rockers, it'll be 8-9-1. That's Galeno, Gonzalez, and Field. Those hitters a combined 1 for 7 today. Johnny Field has the 1. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Charleston. 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error for High Point. And here comes the first pitch to Galeno, up and away, and the count 1-0. Mike Galeno hitting at .417 now. Looking for a hit today. Sheets dips down from the side and slings a fastball in at the knees, count 1-1. Kit Sheets from Virginia. This one hit in the air, right field. A long run for Miles Williams. Dives and didn't make the catch. The ball gets away. Galeno is on his way to third. He is going to hold there. It'll be a triple for Mike Galeno. The Rockers' second triple of the ball game. Jerry Downs a triple, Galeno a triple. Now Billy Horn is going to go out and talk to Owen Ballard. Miles Williams had to go a long way for that ball and made a fantastic dive for it. It's a quick conversation between Billy Horn and Owen Ballard. Billy kind of shrugs his shoulders at the end and says, what can you do about it? Here comes Jay Gonzalez. Rockers have an opportunity to cut into this lead a little bit more. Kit Sheets, a starter at Virginia Tech. Up until his last year, where he kind of split the year between starting and relieving. That pitch down and away to Gonzalez, 1-0. Then was signed to play for the Houston Astros. Made it to AAA Round Rock in 2019. Didn't pitch in 2020 as Gonzalez takes up 2-0. And then last year, pitched to a 3.93 earned run average for AAA Sugarland, formerly of the Atlantic League, but still in the Astros organization. Pitched decently well, except for the walk total. 31 walks in 55 innings, but everything else, good numbers for Sheets. As Gonzalez chases a fastball up at the chin, and the count 2-1. Kit Sheets has been extremely effective for Charleston up to this point. A 2-1 coming to Gonzalez, and Sheets takes something off of it, and Gonzalez takes it low, and the count now 3-1. Rockers trying to get the first 2 aboard here in the bottom of the 7th. They've rallied in the 7th inning before. Remember, down 5-0 against the Genomes on opening day. They would rally to score 10 unanswered in the 6th and 7th inning. Here's the 3-1, way upstairs, ball 4. And the Rockers start the 7th with a triple and a walk. And here comes Johnny Field. And with Galeno and Gonzalez reaching base, now the only Rocker who hasn't is Xander Wheel, which is perhaps the most surprising considering how good Xander Wheel has been. He'd probably be about the last guy you'd expect to not have been on base yet. First pitch to Field, a little late on it, swing and a miss, strike one. Runners at the corners, nobody out. With the left-handed pitcher in a 5-run deficit, you think Jay Gonzalez probably staying close by to first base. Here comes the pitch to Field, fastball up, and the count 1-1. Certainly get the impression the Rockers may at least make this interesting. Sheets comes set. The lefty works third base side of the rubber and comes set just below the chin. Fastball, swing and a miss. Johnny Field was reaching out for that one and was not able to connect, so the count now 1-2. Michael Russell in the on-deck circle has extended his season opening on-base streak to 9 with a walk his last time. Here's the 1-2. Field pops it up over our head. Count remains 1-2. Again, top of the 8th inning, we will take another peek at the Atlantic League scoreboard. Staten Island still in search of the first win in organization history. And right now, they've got a little work to do. They're 0-7 coming into today. The 1-2 to Johnny Field. Sheets delivers down low, and it's going to get away from Gonzalez. Galino stays at third, but Jay Gonzalez will go to second on the wild pitch. So the Rockers now 2 runners in scoring position. How have they done in that situation today? 0 for 4. Charleston, on the other hand, 1 for 8. Not much better. Charleston has blasted a couple of solo home runs. They led off the game with the triple by Anthony Seymour. Here comes a 2-2 in a moment. Well, first, Yovan Gonzalez is going to want to go out and talk to Sheets. Tomorrow's starting pitching matchup, it's Kevin Herget for the Dirty Birds, no record with a 5.73 earned run average. Jason Manzueta for the Rockers, no record, 1.89 the ERA. Manzueta will be making his second start of the year, and the Rockers have Monday off. And then Long Island comes to town on Tuesday for a 3-game set. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Field. And he just nubs this one off of the end of the bat. And it stays a 2-2 count. Johnny Field battling here. Next pitch will be number 7 of this at-bat. Kit Sheets still looking for the first out of the inning. The lefty holds the set and delivers a 2-2. Inside, they're going to ring him up, strike 3. Johnny Field acted as if that ball just about hit him, but he is rung up on strikes by Owen Ballard. That's out number 1. And that'll bring up Michael Russell, who's 0 for 2. According to the strike zone on the game day page on the Atlantic League website, that ball does catch the inside corner, which leads me to believe Johnny Field must be crowding the plate a little bit. So now it's Michael Russell's turn. Russell swings, first pitch, skies it into right field. Williams is going to make the catch. We'll see if Galino can come in and score. Here comes the throw home. It is up the line, a sacrifice fly from Russell. It's now a 6-2 game. For Russell, RBI number 2. And with a runner at second base and 2 outs now in a 6-2 game, the batter is Jerry Downs, who's 2 for 3. Right-hander just getting up and starting to throw in the Charleston pen. Bryce Hensley looks to be coming back out for the 8th. As we get a little further on, Jamie Keefe will start relying less and less on an A-Day, B-Day schedule and a little bit more on rest and necessity of the situation. Downs, swings, and grounds at foul. First base side, count 0-1. He said at the beginning of the year, until he gets his relievers up to full song, you'll see guys in situations they may not normally be in simply because it's their day to throw until they get ramped up. Sheets come set. Here comes the 0-1. That's just below the knees. Count 1-1. Yvonne Gonzalez holding the ball for a moment, surprised that he didn't get the call. And it appears, as time has been called, looks like the alarms are going off here in the ballpark.
May I have your attention?
That is a throwback to last year.
There has been an alarm reported in the building. Please proceed to the stairways and exit the building. Do not use the elevator.
And we'll see what happens here. Play has been stopped.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There has been an alarm reported in the building.
As you can, I'm sure, hear in the
Do not use the elevator.
headset, the alarms are going off here. It's the fire alarms, or at least the alarms that are listed as fire, going off. A couple of fans starting to exit. And as we try to figure out what's going on here, we're going to just really quickly, we're going to toss it to break, and we will come back here in just a moment as play has been paused. Well, now, right as I say that, it sounds like we're about to play again. Owen Ballard is putting the mask back on. Yvonne Gonzalez puts his mask back on. And so here we go. Here comes a 1-1 now to Downs, now that that whole scenario has played itself out. Downs swings, a little nubber, and Bertram, the third baseman, slides and makes a catch. A little blooper. That would have been in the normal shortstop spot, but the Charleston squad was playing him to pull, and instead he'll just pop it up to the third baseman. So the Rockers score 1, and we will head now to the top of the 8th inning. The Rockers still trail, but it's 6-2 now on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning, Bryce Hensley back out for High Point. Hensley a 1-2-3 seventh. It's Yovan Gonzalez, Scott Burcham, and then back to the top of the lineup, Anthony Seymour. Yovan Gonzalez today 1 for 3. First pitch from Hensley down below the knees, and the count 1-0. Looks like somebody up in the bullpen for Charleston. That pitch a strike from Hensley, and the count is 1-1. Well, things have certainly taken almost just a circus-like air here at the ballpark because of that alarm that went off. There's a little bit of a buzz for just simply something unusual happening, but if you remember, I think that happened at least twice last year. Once at Gastonia and then once here. That pitch swung on, popped up over our heads, and the count now 2-2. Yovan Gonzalez hitting at 259. Hensley's 2-2. Swung on, lined right to short. Ladendorf tries to pick it, and the ball gets past him. Instead of getting in front of the ball, he tried to play it on the side. And so the leadoff man aboard for Charleston here in the 8th inning. That's a base hit for Yovan Gonzalez. He's got a 2-hit day, and here's Scott Burcham. Hensley delivers. That pitch down low, and the count 1-0 to Burcham. Wind still kind of acting odd today, as it looks like it's still blowing in from center. I don't remember seeing that at any point last year. This one hit on the ground towards Wheel, could be 2. Goes to second for 1. The relay to first, not in time. Michael Russell kind of fumbled with it a little bit at second. I think that's the correct call. It was not a clean transition from glove hand to bare hand for Michael Russell. And that'll bring up Anthony Seymour now. Seymour today 2 for 3, a stolen base, a walk, 2 runs scored. And Hensley delivers. That one swung on, popped up. Right to the second baseman, Russell. 1 step back, now 1 step in, makes the catch. And that's quickly the second out of the inning, which will bring up Scott Kelly. Kelly today 1 for 3, but he's got 3 runs batted in. How about Bryce Hensley continuing to have a very, very good afternoon, very good season. His earned run average now 1.36. First pitch coming here to Kelly in the top of the 8th. Fastball, there's a strike, and the count 0-1. Between Wayman's last inning and Hensley's first and now his second, the Rockers about to go put 3 straight zeros on the board next to Charleston's ledger. Here comes the 0-1. Hensley delivers, swung on, hit third base side. It's foul, and the count 0-2. That's a good play by Xander Wheel, realizing it was going to be a tough play to make, so he stands on the foul side of the line and doesn't try to make the play, realizing that they'll have a better shot with an 0-2 count on the hitter than for him to try to make a tough play. Hensley comes set. Burcham takes his lead off of first. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on, hit on the ground to Russell. And Xander Wheel's intuition pays off. Russell goes the short way to second. And that is the final out of the inning. Charleston does not score in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th with the Dirty Birds on top of the Rockers 6-2 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Well, we've gone to the bottom of the 8th inning. Charleston has gone to the bullpen. Kit Sheets, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 run. And Charleston has gone to the bullpen to a guy who I don't have his number on my roster, so I am not entirely sure who that is. We'll try to get that figured out. He's number 51. Height and weight-wise, looks like Michael Osnowitz, who's number 52. But at least for the moment, I'm not sure. with the names and numbers not matching up, I can't tell you with certainty who that is. Whoever he is, he'll be facing the 4, 5, and 6 part of the lineup. Again, we get our lineups from the Charleston media department. Sent us their rosters. So I'm not exactly sure who this number 51 is. Anyways, whoever he is, he's pitching to Quincy Lattimore, and the first pitch misses inside ball 1. My only guess was either Tyler Wilson or Mitchell Osnowitz. That pitch to Lattimore in there for a strike, the count 1-1. Rockers have somebody up in the bullpen who I cannot see because of some fans standing up. It's just all sorts of one thing after another happening here in the 8th inning. That pitch way up and into the head of Lattimore. He's got to spin out of the way. And the count now 2-1. The 2-1 from Mystery Man. There's a strike at the knees to Lattimore, and the count 2-2. That pitch swung on, hit high, hit deep, into left field, rockabye baseball, a 2-run blast from Quincy Lattimore. It's a solo home run for Quincy Lattimore. His second of the night. The Rockers lead trail now 6-3. For Lattimore, home run number 4, RBI number 10. And the first pitch to Xander Wheel misses ball 1. Well, the Rockers have started chipping away. 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. That pitch down, and the count 1-0. Check that, the count 2-0 to Xander Wheel. Wheel swings, there's a deep drive into left field. Perez going back at the fence, he'll make the catch. Off the bat, that one looked really good from Xander Wheel, but Juan Perez makes the catch. There's 1 out in the inning. And that'll bring up Ben Aklinski. Aklinski today 1 for 3. There's a strike there to Aklinski. We're starting to hear reports that the man on the mound is Mitchell Osnowitz. The count 1-1 to Aklinski. And here comes the 1-1. Aklinski swings, high fly ball into left, not deep, but probably the highest of the 3. That's caught by Perez for the 2nd out of the inning. So until I hear different, we're going to go with that being Mitchell Osnowitz, who has no record this year, an ERA of 0 in 3 appearances, 1 strikeout, no walks, 3 hits allowed. Coming into this at-bat as he slings this one back to the backstop, and the count 1-0. Charleston leads it 6-3. Here comes the pitch to Ladendorf, fouls it off. The count 1-1. Now with some fans kind of moved out of the way, I'm looking down into the Rockers dugout, or to the bullpen rather. Still cannot see who that is throwing. It's the tough thing about our angle down the first baseline. A little hard to see the home bullpen. Here comes a 1-1. That's at the knees. Just missed. Must have been a bit inside because the height looked good. And the count 2-1. Osnowitz delivers. That one's up and in. And the count 3-1 now to Ladendorf. How about Quincy Lattimore? 2 home run game, the first Rocker this year to hit 2 in a game. The only player that's ever hit 3 in a game is Jerry Downs. Fastball, Ladendorf fouls it off his front foot. And the count 3-2. Mike Galino in the on-deck circle. 1 of 2 triples for the Rockers tonight. Ladendorf waiting in the right-handed box. Here comes the 3-2. With 2 outs in the inning, Ladendorf swings, pops it up foul territory, but should be playable for Burcham. Burcham now close towards the railing, and he does make the catch. And that is the final out of the inning, but not before a leadoff home run from Quincy Lattimore. The Rockers get another one back, and they've made it a 6-3 score. They trail by 3 as we head to the 9th on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Hi, folks. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow. We take on the Charleston Dirty Birds
Tanner Duncan on the mound for the Rockers now. He'll replace Bryce Hensley, who threw 2 really good innings of work. Hensley, 2 innings, 1 hit. And Tanner Duncan comes in. Duncan on the year. No runs allowed in 2 appearances, 2 innings, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. The Rockers trail by 3 here in the top of the 9th inning. It'll end up actually being a save situation if Duncan is able to keep Charleston off of the board. Here in the 9th, it'll be a save situation for whoever comes in. There's a right-hander in the pen. So it is Mitchell Osnowitz. We do have confirmation now that it was Osnowitz who gave up the home run in the 8th inning. Again, thank you for joining us today on today's broadcast, Game 2 of this 3-game set. The finale tomorrow, 4:05 first pitch, will be on air with the pregame show at 3:30 on MixLR. YouTube will join a little bit later on. But for the time being, the Rockers still going to have to deal with a 3-run deficit as it stands going into the bottom of the 9th inning. But here in the top of the 9th, it'll be Perez, Longy, and Williams, the 3 scheduled hitters. Here's Juan Perez. Juan Perez today 1 for 3. And Tanner Duncan's first pitch of the 9th inning, just missing away in the count 1-0. Haven't seen an attendance figure yet, but I feel like it should be another solid one here at the ballpark. We'll get that number for you once we know it. Here comes the 1-0. Check swing up at the top of the zone. Doesn't go, and the pitch not called a strike, and the count 2-0 now to Perez. Duncan set at the belt, the right-hander looking in for the 2-0. And here it comes, swing and a miss. Take something off of that one. And Perez well out in front. Count now 2-1. So Bryce Hensley, 2 very good innings of relief. Drops his ERA on the year to 1.29. Neil Uscali, 4 innings today for High Point. That one swung on high in the air, right field, long run for Jay Gonzalez. It's going to go foul, and the count 2-2. Again, tomorrow's starting pitching matchup, Kevin Herget for Charleston, Jason Manzueta for the Rockers. This has been a series between 2 teams. It ended up being pretty much a battle down the stretch between the 2 teams as that one fouled off and hit just off of a post on the Rockers' dugout, post right in front, almost went down the stairs, down the railing. And Duncan will step off now. The count 2-2 to Perez, who's wearing, we already talked about the colors of the Charleston Charlies uniforms. He's also wearing like a green and gray undershirt beneath it, so he's adding even more tropical colors. Here's the 2-2, fastball fouled back. go ahead and take that last look at the Atlantic League scoreboard. Staten Island Ferry Hawks in jeopardy of dropping to 0-8 as they trail 5-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning in Gastonia. That pitch swung on, popped up out of play. And the count is still 2-2. Middle of the 6th inning, and Lexington is working a 8-4 lead over Long Island. Henry Owens has been used as a reliever this year, was a starter for the Legends last year, but he's been pitching out of the bullpen. For the Legends this year. Bottom of the 7th, Gastonia, or Southern Maryland rather, leading the Genomes 10-2. Also bottom of the 7th, Lancaster leads York by a score of 2-4. That one swung on, hit deep in the air into left field. It's gone. A solo home run off of the bat of Juan Perez, home run number 2 and RBI number 6. And that leadoff home run makes it now a 7-3 ball game, a game in which, coming into today, the Rockers bullpen hadn't given up a single home run this year. Now they have given up 2. So here's Nick Longy, who hit one of the home runs. This one, though, the Longy hit was not off of a reliever, but off of Rockers starter Neil Uscali down in the turf ball 1. So with the loss today, the Rockers would fall to 6-3. Charleston would improve to 6-3. And we would go into the rubber match tomorrow exactly where we started yesterday, which these two teams tied in second place. Hit on the ground to second. Russell throws to first in time. That's out number 1. And that'll bring up Miles Williams. Miles Williams has a home run today. Miles is a guy that it is hard to pull against him. He wasn't here at High Point very long, but we certainly enjoyed getting to know Miles while he was here. For my money, one of the nicest guys in the Atlantic League. Here comes the first pitch to Williams. Swing and a miss. Chase the off-speed pitch down out of the zone, and the count 0-1. For Charleston, 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors. For High Point, 3 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. As Duncan comes set, looking to rebound after that home run. Put together a clean inning otherwise as Williams chases the same pitch down out of the zone, and the count is 0-2 now. Duncan comes set. Here comes an 0-2. Swing and a miss. Same pitch 3 times in a row. Out of the zone and down. He got Williams to chase. And now there's 2 outs in the inning, and that'll bring up Connor Justice.
Shortstop, number 15, Connor Justice.
Justice today 1 for 4. He's singled and scored. And the first pitch of the at-bat coming from Duncan as a right-hander continues to throw in the bullpen for Charleston. Fastball hums up around the chin of Justice, and the count 1-0. For Tanner Duncan, his first run allowed as a High Point Rocker off of that home run by Perez. Fastball outside, and the count 2-0. Well, the Rockers had scored 5+ runs in each of their 5 wins in this 5-game winning streak. They scored 7 on Tuesday, or on last Sunday rather. 5 on Tuesday. This one swung on, lined into right. Gonzalez will make the catch for the final out of the inning. 14 Wednesday, 13 Thursday, and 6 yesterday. But right now they've been held to 3 runs, and when they score less than 5, they have yet to win a ball game. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It's a 7-3 game in favor of Charleston on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Now pitching for the Dirty Birds, number 24, Tyler Wilson. This visit call in the bullpen is sponsored by Cricket Wireless. Working hard.
Bottom of the 9th. Charleston goes back to the bullpen. Osnowitz goes 1 inning. He gives up 1 hit. It was the solo home run to Lattimore. And now in is Tyler Wilson. Tyler Wilson comes into today. No record, ERA of 0. In 3 appearances, he's made 2 saves. This is not a save situation. He's walked 1 and struck out 1. He'll face 8-9-1 Galeno, Gonzalez, and Field. Here in the 9th inning as the Rockers down to their last opportunity to try and extend their winning streak. It is 5. They won on opening day, lost 2, then won 5 in a row coming into tonight. Mentioned a little bit ago, the Rockers' 13-game homestand nearing an end. After Long Island is here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they head to York for the weekend. They take on the Revs Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Back home the 10th, 11th, and 12th to play Charleston. Then they go on the road 13th, 14th, and 15th. And then it's another 2 series at home against Lexington and Staten Island. So a lot of alternating series, home and road, for the Rockers coming up. Here's Mike Galeno, 1 for 3 today with a triple. And the first pitch from Wilson in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Neil Uscali is in line for the loss. He'll fall to 1-1. Jose Mesa Jr. will improve to 2-0. Attendance has been announced 2,402. Another good number here at the ballpark following yesterday's 2,426 and 2,001 on Thursday. It's been a good couple of days here at the ballpark. I pitched down and in. And the count 2-1. Rockers offense waking up here late in the game, but 5 innings of zeros before that may prove too much to overcome as Galeno fouls that off and the count 2-2. We'll have a short Rockers postgame show following the conclusion of tonight's game, so stick around for that. We'll wrap things up, take one final look around the Atlantic League, and set the stage for tomorrow. Galeno hacks it one up and in. It's strike 3. On a pitch that you could tell Galeno knew he shouldn't swing about midway through. And by that point, you're at the point of no return, and there's no way to hold off. So here's Jay Gonzalez. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk. Top of the lineup on deck after that. Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat to Gonzalez. There's a fastball strike. Here comes the fastball inside from Wilson. It's now 1-1. Jay Gonzalez hitting at .261. Billy Horn, when we talked to him the other day, as Gonzalez fouls that off, count 1-2. Talked to Billy yesterday, and the comment he made was he said, do your damage in terms of the standings at home. Just go 500 on the road. Take one where you can. And he said he'd be happy to leave High Point with 1 out of 3. Well, tonight he's getting at least 1. We'll see tomorrow if he makes it 2 or whether or not Jamie Keefe and the Rockers get back on the right foot tomorrow. Here comes the 1-1. Gonzalez swings and fouls it back in the count 1-2. Jason Manzueta, who's getting the ball tomorrow. When I look back at his first start of the year, which came back on Tuesday in the opener against Lancaster, untouchable for 4 innings, 5 innings, then kind of ran out of gas in the 6th as Gonzalez strikes out. And the Rockers are down to their final out. And so you'd think now with a couple days since then, Manzueta is still throwing his bullpens and getting back into full song for the regular season. You think maybe if he doesn't tire in the 6th inning, racks up those strikeouts just like he did on Tuesday as Johnny Field steps in, could be in for a good day. That pitch a strike, and the count 0-1, the curveball at the knees. There is no doubt that Manzueta's stuff is absolutely electric. And Wilson comes set. The 0-1 coming here to Field. Curveball, same pitch, same result, called for strike. Kevin Herget tomorrow for Charleston. He's made 2 starts already this year, 11 innings pitched. This is coming off of last year with AAA Columbus in the Cleveland organization. He went 7-5 last year, 28 games, 7 starts. It looks like Billy Horn wants to use him primarily as a starter. Is that fastball from Wilson outside in the count 1-2? Rockers are down to their final strike here on a Saturday night. Wilson set. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside. And they're alive at least for one more. Michael Russell in the on-deck circle should the inning extend. Wilson looks in, gets the sign from Yovan Gonzalez. And here comes the 2-2. Curveball, he swings and lines it into left field. It'll drop for a hit. And the Rockers stay alive in the 9th inning with a 2-out single, and that'll bring up Michael Russell. Russell on the day 0 for 2 has walked and has also recorded a sacrifice fly. Jerry Downs in the on-deck circle, a 2-hit day. Quincy Lattimore behind him, a 2-home run day. As the Rockers try to extend this 9th inning even further off of Tyler Wilson. First pitch fastball to Russell. That's a strike. And the count 0-1. Gastonia is 2 outs away from winning their game, which would put them 2 games ahead of the Rockers. That pitch outside. Gonzalez bluffed a throw as Field bluffed a steal of second. Neither one actually pulls the trigger. A ball and a strike to Russell. Wilson comes set. Here comes that 1-1. Fastball, that's outside. And the count now 2-1. This has certainly at least been a longer inning than Wilson was anticipating, as his next pitch will be his 19th of the inning. A lot of deep counts. The Charleston righty set. Here's the 2-1. Curveball low. Russell takes again, and the count 3-1. Rockers try to extend this ninth inning even further. 1 run in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. Charleston 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the top of the 9th. Here comes the 3-1. Field goes. It's a strike. And Johnny Field with his first stolen base of the season, as the count is now 3-2. So a runner in scoring position now for Michael Russell. Payoff pitch coming from Wilson. It's a fastball low. And the inning extends even further now. A walk and a single with 2 outs will bring up Jerry Downs. Even if Jerry Downs hits a home run, the Rockers would still be down 1. But this is a dangerous portion of the lineup. Downs, Lattimore, Wheel all have home run power. And Aklinski behind that. Can't forget the start to the year that Aklinski's had. Yovan Gonzalez asks for time and asks for a new baseball, as Tyler Wilson throws that one out of play. Rockers have only been out hit 11-9. Charleston's hit 3 solo home runs. High Point has hit 2. And here's the first pitch to Downs. Fastball away, and the count 1-0. The big difference, 2 runs across in the first inning. A couple of RBI groundouts for Charleston, once in the first and once in the second. Two runs came across in the fourth, the 2-run base hit from Scott Kelly. And Wilson comes set. Here comes the 1-0. Downs takes a close pitch, not a strike, in the count 2-0. Yovan Gonzalez pointing, not sure if he's pointing at Jerry Downs or who he's pointing at. Not sure what that whole thing was about. Yovan Gonzalez is a very animated catcher behind the dish. Saw a couple in Gastonia like that last year. Armindo Escobar comes to mind as Downs, a huge swing, was looking to hit one to the moon with that one. And the count 2-1. Field the runner at second, Russell the runner at first. Rockers down 4, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Wilson comes set. Here comes the 2-1. Big swing again from Downs, and the Rockers are down to their final strike tonight. Downs has brought the average back up over 200. It's 216. And Wilson comes set. Here comes the 2-2. High, an easy take for Downs, and the count goes full. Tyler Wilson has thrown 25 pitches here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Even if he notches the save, the Rockers have made him work. Potentially means he would not be available in a close game tomorrow. Here comes a 3-2. Wilson set. Fastball, Downs chased it up, strike 3. That will do it as the Charleston Dirty Birds, wearing their Charlie's uniforms tonight, will come back to even the series at 1 game apiece, and we're set for a rubber match tomorrow. Final score 7-3 Charleston. And we will take our final break when we come back. It's the Rockers post-game show on the Rockers Baseball Network. Welcome into the Rockers post-game show. As we wrap everything up tonight, the Rockers fall to Charleston by a final score of 7-3. Charleston picked up 11 hits, no errors. The Rockers 9 hits and 1 error tonight. Charleston gets on the board in the first inning. Anthony Seymour leads off the game with a triple. He's brought in on a ground out from Scott Kelly. Then a solo home run from Nick Longy makes it a 2-0 game. Top of the second inning, Connor Justice leads off with a base hit, goes to third on a throwing error, and he would come in and score on a ground out from Yovan Gonzalez, make it 3-0. Charleston would add even more to their lead in the fourth. A 2-run single from Scott Kelly makes it a 5-0 game at that point. Scott Kelly with 3 runs batted in. Then in the top of the fifth, the solo home run from Miles Williams, 6-0 shutout, and Jose Mesa Jr. is cruising. Bottom of the sixth inning, though, off of Mesa, Quincy Lattimore connects a deep home run to left field, makes it 6-1. And in the seventh, Mike Galino would triple and score on the sacrifice fly from Michael Russell, 7-2 your score. Bottom of the eighth inning, the Rockers another solo home run from Quincy Lattimore, 7-3, but they wouldn't get any closer, and in fact, they would give another one back top of the ninth. A solo home run from Juan Perez. A home run fest today, 5 home runs, 3 from Charleston, 2 from High Point. Your final score, 7-3. Neil Uscali takes the loss, going 4 innings, giving up 5 runs, 4 earned, 8 hits, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. Jose Mesa Jr. the win, 6 innings, 1 run. It was earned, 6 hits, and a walk. Time for one last look at the Atlantic League scoreboard. Gastonia, top of the ninth inning with a 6-3 lead over Staten Island, still winless on the year. Lexington leads Long Island 8-4 in the top of the seventh. And Southern Maryland on top in the bottom of the seventh, 10-2 over the Genomes, and the Barnstormers lead at 4-2, top 8 against York. Handing out a game ball for today, it's got to go, I think, to Quincy Lattimore, 2 for 4 with 2 solo home runs, and Quincy continues to climb up the offensive leaderboards for the Rockers as he's up over 100 RBIs now, and he's starting to chase down a few big names in Rockers history on the home run leaderboard. Tomorrow, Jason Manzueta getting the ball against Kevin Herget, 4:05 start time. Manzueta 1-0 on, or excuse me, no record on the year, but a 1.89 earned run average. Again, 4:05 first pitch. We'll be on the air with the Rockers pregame show on MixLR at 3:30 with YouTube to follow. That'll wrap things up here for us this evening. Final score, Charleston 7, High Point 3. A big thanks to everyone down in the control room as well as the Rockers media department. And until tomorrow, I'm Kendrick Fruit saying have a rocking good night. This has been a presentation of High Point Rockers Baseball on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Are you running boxes still? You printing off boxes and stuff?
Yeah, Steve, I think, ran them down.
Oh, okay.
So we got a printer
Yeah.
to use up here,
Yeah.
and it doesn't work.
I was going to show up in Billy's office with box for carry box.
That would be hilarious.
You know what? I might just run.
Just do it. Go for it.